Thank you for tuning in to another week, another episode of Outside the Box with Onney. As you know, I'm your host, Onney the CEO, and I'm back with a fire segment. I have something real exotic in store for you guys, so I need you to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box. And we're back. Now, I know I told you I had something exotic in store. Now, the young man that I'm about to bring on the show today, I met him at an event, and I fell in love with his snake. Yes, I fell in love with his snake. He is Qualin Dorsey of Wildebeast Exotics. Y'all give it up.
How you doing, everybody?
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for coming. I have been watching you and just really paying attention to you since I met you at the TSF event and you let me hold. Now, what kind of snake was that? That
was an albino Burmese python, an adult.
Yes, an adult. And it was so big and long, and everyone that saw the pictures and the video footage was like, oh my God, you weren't scared? I'm like, no, I'm actually in love. I want one.
Yeah, you did that like a champ.
Man, so tell me how long. First of all, before I jump into the interview, introduce yourself again and tell us what all you do and what brought you to it.
My name is Qualin Dorsey, also known as Wildebeast. I'm an exotic animal breeder and conservationist. So I breed reptiles and different species of snakes, lizards. I will be getting into aquatics here soon, and I'm excited about that. But the main goal is to get people to see that animals and reptiles specifically aren't going to hurt you, and they're not out to just get you and eat you and bite you.
Now, what was your inspiration behind becoming a wildlife conservationist?
Steve Irwin.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my, when I locked in and just started watching him and how he would interact with these animals and the love that he has for the animals, and just his whole mission just transformed my life, and it grabbed me. And I just wanted to pursue it.
Now, how long have you been pursuing?
I would say officially about 5 years. Before that, I used to just go around my house in the backyard and go find snakes roaming around and anything I can get my hands on.
So you never was scared. You was just a little deer, just picking up stuff and bringing it home.
Pretty much.
Oh, man, I bet that was an interesting child.
Oh, yeah. My mother... Shouts out, Ma.
Yeah. Now, where are you originally from?
I'm from Houston.
Oh, you're from Houston.
I'm from Houston, born and raised.
Now, for those that don't know, I actually have a behind-the-scenes look at you and wildlife. Let's check it out. Since I started following you, I've noticed I'm beginning to actually recognize your pets. Now, you've had several of them in music videos. How did that come about?
I just have a couple friends, well-known artists around the city. They started following me and was interested about coming and learning about the animals and things that I do, which was actually surprised me to begin with, because at first I thought, they're just hitting me up for a music video, have an animal out, but they were actually intrigued by the animals and wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
more. So we just get bonded with some of the local artists out here, and they asked me to bring out a couple different snakes and stuff like that. So I think the artists in the city are definitely bonding with the animals, and you'll see some more here to come.
Now, you say that you've been doing this for some years now. What was your aha moment that you decided to turn that into somewhat of a career field where you can call yourself a wildlife conservationist?
I would say at the very, very beginning, when I realized streaming was a actual thing and people were getting paid and actually making a living from streaming. So, some friends of mine, I'm not a big social media person. I'm still getting used to it. They opened my eyes and just showed me some different people with some different platforms on how they branded themselves. And I kind of just took a blueprint off of that and took it upon myself to just go after it.
Now, I also noticed you're very open about it. You're a family man.
Yes.
And your wife, is she just as into the animals as you are, or was that something that she just supports you in?
When we met, not so much at all. I mean, the cute and cuddly stuff, of course, but reptiles, absolute no. I brought oh man, I brought a little bitty snake into the house to kind of test, where she stood on it, and she wanted to burn the house down. She didn't want to come home.
She stood way over there.
She thought the snake was gonna get out and kill her, and all of that stuff. But over the years, she's definitely taken a liking and taken that step further to educate herself and get hands-on with these animals. And now she has the same love and devotion that I do.
That's beautiful. Now, once you started making this a lifestyle, because it has to be a lifestyle. I mean, at home has to be your own personal zoo. How did that change the course of your decisions, like your day-to-day life?
It definitely restricts me from going out for extended periods of time. I can't vacation like I want to. I can't, leave the city for longer than a day because I do have dogs also.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely just making sure I have sitters and people there to support the animals while I'm not there. My wife has actually helped with a good deal of load of that. So that's the biggest thing, and making sure that I give them the proper time that I have. And they take up a good amount of time. You want to train your animals the proper way so that they're easy to manage and easy going. So when I present these animals to people, it's a likable experience.
Now, I went through and I saw that you have, what's the word I want to use? Experience with many animals. You just kind of touch upon them all. And I noticed that you said you also breed reptiles, but even though you breed those animals, you work with other animals as well.
That's right.
So are you working, do you have is there a specific area where people can go to see your animals, or is that appointment only? Like, how does that work?
So I do have, you can reach out to me via Instagram or whatever platform and make a special appointment with me. Mm-hmm. I do have future plans to have a location set up for everyone to come and enjoy everything that they can come see and really get the hands-on that I get. Right. And I really want to give that to the public. So
that'd be so dope.
Oh,
I can just see it being so big.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I just see so much happening because I know how I gravitated to you. I was like in your DMs, how much does this cost?
Yeah.
Now what I gotta do? My only dilemma is that I travel so much, and you with pets are like children. Mm-hmm. You have to have care for them when you're traveling, and I'm like, my travel schedule just won't let me be great.
The good thing is, me, and we can work that out,
We'll work it out. Maybe I could just bring the baby and drop it off and be like, I'll be back.
Yeah. We can work something out like that.
All right. Now, I actually have a few behind-the-scenes shots, but do you have a support team? Like, is there a team of people that work with you? Or is it just you and your wife? How does that work out?
I have an internal team as far as, someone to look over my finances as well as me. I do have a couple photographers that I work with locally and videographers. But as far as most of it with printing my shirts, I do have merch line coming soon. I wanted to have the thought to wear my own stuff and make that happen.
I could definitely see your logo on some merch.
Oh, for sure. It's really cool.
Make sure I'm a size medium.
I got you.
Had to slide that in there.
For sure. I got you. No problem.
Now, I actually have a few shots behind the scenes. Let's take a look here. Look at you. I bet that's an exciting experience.
Oh, yes, man. There's nothing like being and holding being around and experiencing the joy it is to be with big cats and primates and just animals that you don't get to see on the day-to-day. I love it.
Now, are those animals, like the monkeys, are they easy to train?
It's really up to them, I would say yes. If from babies, nurturing primates from babies is definitely a easy experience. If so be it the animal. In my experience, it's just about time and love. If you genuinely care and you're genuinely there for the animals, they will reciprocate the same thing.
Now, actually, the pictures, they say pictures say 1,000 words, but videos say 1,000,000. I actually have a few monkey kisses behind the scenes. Let's see.
No, you trying to kiss me? Okay. I want you to put it on. Okay. I want you to get on your shoulders now. I'll even get down with you.
Now, who is that?
That's Lambani. His house is in ZBWF, Miami, which is a wildlife foundation and sanctuary out in Miami. It's owned by Mario. He's one of my good friends and also a supporter of mine throughout this career endeavor. Lambani, he has about 1 million followers on Instagram, so be sure to go check him out. He has an amazing life, and I love him being a part of his life and being able to experience the chimp life.
Now, on your exotic reptiles and lizards, can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, what is the process behind that? How long does it take? If someone come to you right now and say, okay, I want a Burmese python.
Okay.
And how would I go about that?
So depending on what you want to produce, you would make sure that the two pairs of snakes that you have the genetics that are carrying the genetics that you want to breed. So once you accomplish having a successful male and female pair, then you would raise them up for a couple years and get them nice and ready for size, because that's really what dictates how many babies you have, because they're egg-bearing animals. So you want to have them a nice size. Then after a couple years, you want to pair them up. And at that point, it's really up to you as a keeper and how good your husbandry has been and how good you have been reading the animals. Then you'll notice the snakes begin to lock at the end of their tails. And when that lock, that's the sexual process that is needed for reproduction. Once you witness a couple locks within a couple different weeks, you'll have to wait, depending on the species, about 6 months in an incubator. The snakes would lay. There's non-oviparous and oviparous animals, meaning some snakes give live birth and some are eggs. So after the snakes lay their eggs, you want to gather the eggs and put it in an incubator, which is a controlled environment. And snakes that are live-bearing, once their babies are out and alive and functioning all over the cage, you want to just pick them up and separate them and make sure they're all healthy and eating and all well.
Oh, man, that sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
And it's not like a 1, 2, 3 either. Like, you really have to put that order in. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to get my order in just for 2022, 2023.
Yes,
okay, now, actually, I had some more behind-the-scenes imagery of you as well. Now, what type of lizard is that?
This is a panther chameleon.
A panther chameleon.
Yes, ma'am.
Does it change colors?
Yes. It's the most colorful chameleon species there are, and they get massive. So they're well known for their colors and their size.
Yeah, and what is that?
That is an Asian water monitor, and his name is Drogo. His house is currently at Houston Interactive Aquarium. And he's called a black dragon because that's a melanistic phase of Asian water monitor. They come in a bunch of different colors and patterns, and this is just a lack of color, rather.
Now, you do have pets that are currently available for sale, correct?
Yes, I have some different snake species that are for sale. I will be currently having a couple different lizard species up for sale. That my website is under construction, but it will be up by the end of the year. I promise you guys. So
okay, well, we're gonna keep an eye out for that. Now, if someone wants to purchase, they can just go to your Instagram, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's Wildebeast _Texas. Y'all be sure y'all hit them in the DMs and find out how to purchase one of those.
Slide on it.
Yeah, slide on in them. Now, who are some of the artists that you've had a chance to work with behind the scenes?
I've worked with D Flowers, Mr. Naturally.
Okay, naturally. Yeah.
I really, what resonated with him is, he called me one day, and he was really interested in the animals. Like I said, he at first didn't even approach me about purchasing an animal or putting it in a music video. He wanted to actually give respect to the animals and what I do. So after a couple weeks of just message exchange, I met him out in public, and he gave me some love, and I gave him some love. So that was awesome. Sauce Walka and TSF Family had me out there for an album release party.
That's where we met.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. That was awesome. I met a whole bunch of people out there. Yeah. I would say Kayo Genesis is another one of them. Kayo Genesis, our relationship, I didn't even know he was a rapper to begin with. He was just a tall guy I ran into at Smoothie King, and I had a fox with me. The owner of the Smoothie King was kind enough to let me in with my fox, and I was just chilling, drinking a smoothie.
A fox?
A fox.
A real fox?
A real fox.
Okay.
So
I heard it
he
all.
walks in with his daughter, and he immediately what is that? Is that a fox? And so we immediately exchanged numbers and have been friends ever since. I would say one shot Louis Bravo out there. We got some work coming in and some collab work going on. So, I'm interested to see that list grow.
Now, what advice could you give someone else that is looking to venture off into being an exotic conservationist?
I would say the biggest thing is just to remain solid to your beliefs with the animals. In the industry, there's a lot of people that, do it for the clout or do it for the imagery, but it really shows when you actually have the real passion and love behind what you do. And when it comes to the conservation side of things, that's all it's about, putting your love into these organizations that are putting it back into the world and for the animals to create a better place for them and us, because if we love animals and we give them the love, then we as humans live better and share a peaceful planet.
I love that. Now, the year is definitely coming to a close. What do we have to look forward to from Wildebeast Exotics coming in 2022? Speak it into existence.
I will say I do have some partnerships that are going to be pretty big and are involved in some pretty big names. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to drop a couple of my snake clutches because I don't really know what to expect. This one was kind of just an experimental program, and it worked. So I'm looking forward to that. I have some underwater excursions and video and content, a lot of content to put out with Nick the Wrangler also. So me and Nick have been hanging out for the last couple weeks, and we've created some good content for you guys. And I'm saying we're just going to rock and roll and get bigger and better.
I love it. So remind our viewers again where they can find you on Instagram. That's Wildebeast _Texas. That's TX. Y'all make sure y'all find him.
Get at me,
follow
guys.
him. Get at him. And while I have your attention, I want to remind you that we are on multiple platforms every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. You can find us on Himalaya, iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, Google,
Ooh, go get it.
YouTube, SoundCloud, Radio Public.
Let 'em
we
know.
are everywhere. You can also find us
All
on
of 'em.
Thursdays at 7 p.m. on A-Star TV. And while I have your attention, I want you to go ahead on over to our YouTube page, Outside the Box with Onney. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification so that you can be notified when we drop new content. We have something new for you every Wednesday, every week. Tell a friend to follow the movement. And I want to thank you again, Kweilyn, for coming and letting me get all in your business.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for
And
having
I
me.
will be booking me a photo shoot with some of those exotic
Oh,
animals.
yes, ma'am. Let's get it. Let's
get it. So there you have it. We see you guys next week. Same time, same place. I'm your host, Onney, the CEO, and you are Outside the Box.